Next month, many Africans will have the opportunity to experience a distinctly American art form. The Big Hillbilly Bluegrass Band will be touring several African capitals during the month of December. VOA's Carolyn has more.
Even the most discriminating listeners become easy converts to the contagious bluegrass music. The Big Hillbilly Bluegrass Band are called America's ambassadors of bluegrass, and their recordings have achieved widespread acclaim. The band is thrilling audiences while on tour in Armenia. Their music is a blend of hard-driving bluegrass, country, and folk. The music became known as bluegrass in the 1940s, originating in the rural southeast United States, particularly Kentucky, which is known as the bluegrass state. Performers take turns playing improvised solos. Band leader Bob Perilla says bluegrass is like the jazz of country music and has roots deep in Africa.
Well, I think bluegrass music has a good capability to speak for itself. It's an amalgam of black and white influences that came to be in a particular time. It's got an infectious rhythm. The harmonic palette is a little different than jazz, but that's the essence of bluegrass. It took the stringed instrument traditions of the Africans and the Scotch-Irish settlers and wed those traditions to swing and blues. And the resulting combination is bluegrass music. The resulting combination is bluegrass music, and bluegrass music uses the altered blue notes or blue tones of the scale in the same way that blues and jazz and swing do.
Musician Ira Gitlin says the modern banjo is based on an African design.
You know, a lot of people don't realize that the banjo was originally an African instrument. It was brought over in the days of the slave trade, and the early banjos, of course, were a little less elaborate, but once they became popular about 150 years ago, Americans set about making it a little more mechanical, something that they could produce in quantities and that would be consistent, so you get all of these metal parts.
Gitlin shows how the music evolved.
You do get different techniques, like in Africa, they use, in a lot of places, they use a technique that's something like this. And versions of that are used in America and have been for, 200 years. But the bluegrass style uses an approach borrowed from guitar playing, where we use finger picks and we play individual notes in various patterns. And it creates a much more hard-edged, exciting style, a little more suitable for the machine age, I guess. They took their traditional fiddle tunes and the banjo tunes that they learned from the black residents of the area, and they put it all together and kind of souped it up, made it more modern, made it a little more exciting, a little flashier, to make it a commercial product that, even though it was a little more modern and fast-paced, still reflected the traditional roots of the people who made it.
Big Hillbilly Bluegrass will be touring several African capitals in December.
We're going to visit Mauritania in far southwestern Sahara, Togo on the Gulf of Guinea, the Republic of Congo, and the Central African Republic. So West Africa, Saharan Africa, and actually Central Equatorial Africa. We're hugely excited.
Look for the Bluegrass Tour in December at American embassies in Africa. If you miss them there, you can always look up the Big Hillbilly Bluegrass Band on their website with the very same name. Carolyn Turner, VOA News.